BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of This Dope Cooking Show. I'm your host, Chef Jeff. And if you are here, then you heard that I, Chef Jeff, has a cooking show on Tuesdays at 5:30 without fail on the BS3 Network, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you see your podcast. That's where I'm at. All right. So, welcome to another episode. We are here, and this week I just so I wanted to get creative, right? But I had a bunch of different. My mind is like a bunch of different splatters of paint, and they all run together. And then when they run together, they run to the middle, then make this big picture, right? I know, whatever. So, anyway, I was thinking, I want some soul food. But then I was also thinking, I want some Chinese food. And so one time I went somewhere and had these pot stickers, dumplings, depending on who you ask, depending on where you go, right? Pot stickers, dumplings. Some people take pot stickers and use them as dumplings. Some people just have pot stickers, right? So I said, well, what we gonna do, right? So I put a feeler out there, right? So if you saw my Instagram post this week, early this week, so Sunday, I put a post out that said, hey, you got 24 hours to help me plan a meal. I want soul food. The main course is gonna be beef pot roast. So I got a ton of responses, right? So I see how to get y'all engagement. I got y'all now. I done figured out that I got it. So I had people say mac and cheese, sweet potatoes, rice, green beans, collard greens, cabbage, yams, jams. I had a slew of responses. So now I'm overwhelmed because I want to take all of those responses and put it on one plate. That's not going to happen, guys. It's just not. I could do it, but we'll be here for 3 hours because I want to make sure that it's right? So had to dumb it down. So the main course is going to be a beef pot roast pot sticker. And so we're going to have some accoutrements to go with that. And as of right now, the main thing I'm going to do, so this is what it is, right? I've taken all of the responses and I've filtered them through my brain to figure out what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take the beef pot roast and mix it with cabbage and collard greens. That's going to be our pot sticker. So we have a beef pot roast, cabbage, collard green pot sticker. And then we're going to have some mac and cheese and some green beans. I wanted to do some cornbread, but that's too much. I mean, we just getting fat at this point, right? So I wanted to keep it simple and keep it so you guys can follow along. Because the pot sticker is the main thing that I want to, kind of spend time on today. And I really think that once you see how a pot sticker is made and how it's done, you're like, oh shoot, we're gonna have some pot sticker. Like, you know what I mean? You can go wild with it. And I've searched the web for all kinds of pot sticker recipe and all that kind of stuff. And so there are several different types of pot sticker dough shells, what have you, right? The most common one are the round ones that you get from the Asian market. I went to the Asian market, they had them. Apparently, you gotta, get there, or you gotta find them. They in the frozen section, and they don't really have them already unthawed, right? So I didn't know to go to the frozen section. So where I was looking, where the lady pointed, we didn't speak, the language barrier. Where she pointed, I didn't see them. So had to do some more research, right? So what are we doing? So people are making them. You can make them with wheat flour, water, but you got to roll them out, right? And I ain't no baker, so I don't have no pasta roller. I don't have no dough rolling pin. I don't have that. The most thing we were gonna do is use a can and our hand and roll them babies as flat as we can get them. So I was like, well, that ain't gonna quite work, right? So the next option was wonton wraps. We didn't use them. We know how to get down with the wonton wraps, so we halfway there, right? So I grabbed those, as you can see. We got wonton wraps. I did a roast beef a few days ago, right? I did it in the crock pot. Let that baby cook all night. It's so tender and moist and delicious. Do you hear me? I really didn't want to share this recipe with y'all because I was gonna eat up. I had plans for a meatloaf. I mean, not a meatloaf, but a pot roast day. We was gonna do some a pot roast omelet, pot roast. I was gonna be pot roast, pot roast, pot roast. Well, I didn't do all that. I ate it with some other stuff, and I made some tacos one day, and I just been getting down. So that's where we at. So what I got left is we're gonna make these pot stickers. So, like I told you, we got the greens. I already got the greens cut up, collard greens. So first of all, we're gonna wash them, right? I washed them once. We're gonna wash them again for the camera's sake. We're gonna wash the greens. I got the greens and the cabbage put together. So actually, I didn't do cabbage. I did Brussels sprouts because that's what I had. I didn't want to go buy a whole head of cabbage because I wasn't gonna use it. So we have Brussels sprouts. That goes live at our house. Like everybody in my house loves Brussels sprouts. Shout out to Dr. Carlos Lyons for turning me on Brussels sprouts because as a kid I wouldn't touch it. And one day we were talking about meal prep, and he was like, "What about Brussels sprouts?" And I was like, And he was like, "There ain't nothing but just baby cabbage. Don't you like cabbage?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "That's all the Brussels sprout is." And ever since he told me that, it was like a light bulb went off in my head. And the way I do Brussels sprouts is amazing. Like they've gone on menus. I've showed you before on this Dope Cooking Show how I do my Brussels sprouts personally. They just go, and people love them. So I had some. I used some of that. So I used Brussels sprouts and collard green. I only went and got one bushel of collard green. I ribbon cut them, so chiffonaded them, and then kind of cut them down the middle, just kind of give it a little body, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna wash that, then we're gonna saute that with some onions and peppers, just to kind of give it a little bit of flavor, right? Once we do that, we'll mix it with our beef, and then we'll start to make our I want to say dumplings so bad, pot stickers. So we're gonna make our pot stickers. What brought this on was I went to a restaurant downtown Dallas. We sat outside. It was the worst experience. Why? Because I was sitting in the direct sun. Like, how was I supposed to enjoy anything? And I was sitting in the sun. And then the guy came and like made the shade, changed the shade to like cover somebody else. So I was in like the bright. By the time I left, it was nothing to do but come home and go to sleep because I was heat beat. And I don't think I was even there, but probably about like an hour and a half. Stuff on the table start to melt. My phone started to overheat. Like it was terrible. I don't even know why. Whoever picked it. I don't like eating and dining outside. I don't. I have had. I can count on my hand the many times I've sat outside to eat. It ain't that many. Probably four. The last one was a place I went to. They didn't have any dining in, and I was with another couple, and we just really wanted to get to it. We heard so much about this place, and so once we finally got our food, I was like, "I'm finna eat right here." Now I could have ate in my truck, but that would have been rude. So I popped the tailgate down. Everybody, it was just like a little table. Everybody got to it. It was actually a good experience. I had a good time, and we got to just people watch, and it was cool. So, yeah. But other than that, I'm not outside. I'm not doing that. Nah, I ain't really. I said, y'all know it's one day of the year that I go outside. I'm outside all day, and that's Texas Wick Fest. So, yeah. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put all that together. We're gonna saute it down, right? Kind of get it wilted. Then we're gonna mix our beef with it. Our beef is already cooked. We're gonna let those sit, kind of marry together. Then we're gonna put that in our pot sticker. That'll be our pot sticker filling. So that's part of the soul food. It's the beef roast, the collard greens, the cabbage, right? Then we're gonna make some mac and cheese. I'm gonna show you how to make some mac and cheese. I got a little pot going because I want to make a lot. And also we gotta have some type of gravy for the pot stickers, right? So what I did was I took some of the trimmings, the drippings from the crock pot, and I got that in a little pot right there, kind of just simmering right now, simmering real low. And so it don't matter. We're gonna make it. It's gonna be gravy-ish. We're not gonna make a gravy. We just kind of want a sauce for the pot stickers to sit on and kind of give it a little pizzazz on the plate. So with this, what we'll do is we'll add just a little bit of a cornstarch slurry to it. We'll let it get a little body, and then after that, that's on. We done. And then we're gonna do some green beans, just some old run of the mill green beans. You know me, I can't never do nothing normal. So, I mean, I'm gonna put. We're gonna do some green beans, and so I'm gonna show y'all how I kind of do mine. I'm not gonna tell you the whole thing. I'll just show you. I mean, I like. So part of it is I got the recipe from somebody else that didn't want to tell me the recipe, and it took years. When I say years, I mean years for them to tell me. And when I finally told me, I was like, "That's all." I didn't want to downplay it, but it was like, "Oh, okay, whatever their methodology is to put this simple dish together with these ingredients was insane, and the flavor profile was amazing. And like to this day, they are one of the most requested things in the family. So it's like." I waited all this time for this recipe, and I've been doing it that way. I just wasn't adding this one thing. So today I'm gonna show y'all just a little bit of what that is. So we'll do those green beans that way. So we got green beans, mac and cheese, and then we got our pot stickers, and we on. So call your friend, get a pen, tune in, because we finna get cooking. I'll be right back. All right, guys, welcome back to this dope cooking show. We are on. We are cooking. We are moving and grooving, guys. So look, again, this week's episode is a beef pot roast pot sticker, and we are going to make some mac and cheese to go with it, and some green beans. Kind of round it off, kind of make it a soul food. So I kind of got a little Asian inspired soul food thing going on here. So in this particular pan, we got some butter going, because what we're gonna put in those pot stickers is collard greens and cabbage. Collard greens, Brussels sprouts, depends on how you can get technical or not. It's up to you. You know what I mean? So that's what we're gonna do. That's part of the soul food part of it, right? So we're gonna add our chopped, shredded, cut, whichever one you want to use, collard greens and cabbage. Also, we got a little bit of onion and bell pepper cut up too, just to give it a little flavor, a little seasoning, right? Sometimes you can lose a little bit of the flavor in the cook with the beef. I let that beef cook all night, slow, low. And it's good, very, very good, very, very tender. But somewhere along the way, I lost a little bit of that beef flavor, and I really, really like that beef flavor. That's really does it for me. So we got some onions going. We got some onions and bell pepper going in. Um, Going with this. All right. Get that in there. Get those sweating. So we're gonna use. Get them in there. Get them sweating. I just happen to like onions. I don't know about y'all, but it's my thing. It's my jam, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna let those get aromatic. Okay. Okay. Let them get a little sweaty and get started. Then we're gonna go ahead and put our cabbage in, our bell peppers. We have cabbage and collard greens, and we're just gonna let that saute in this what we got going on right here. You cannot season it. It's up to you. I'm gonna season. I season everything. That's just how I do. It's my little thing, right? So I always gonna season. I don't know about y'all, but I've been turned on to this season. Shout out to my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law hit me to this one. I see it in the store all the time. I just ain't never fool with it. But it's good. It's good. I like it. So shout out to my brother-in-law for hipping me to something different. I'm gonna put a little bit in there. I like to let my seasonings get a little, with some on them. With some on them. And I'm not traditional. It's not real traditional, right? This is all off the wham, off the top of the head. All something new that I'm trying. So there is our mix, right? Collard greens, cabbage. That's what we got right there. Collard greens and cabbage. And we're gonna let them do their thing. That's what it is. We're gonna let this do its thing. We're gonna incorporate, and it's not gonna take long, right? But for the most part, I wanted to cook down, so that way when we add the beef, we add it to the beef. It's gonna be a perfect, nice little mix, and it's gonna help that beef stick together, stick in there. Over here, we got our water boiling for our mac and cheese. Yep, I did a little pot on purpose. I had to, because if I didn't, we have a whole thing of mac and cheese, and the only person that's gonna eat that is Zeke. Hey, are y'all happy? Them kids are going back to school. What? I could not be more happy. House quiet, nobody saying much of nothing. Everybody just chilling. Yes, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. The loudest thing in my house right now is Chase snoring. Yes, I'm so glad them kids going back to school. I don't know what to do. Ooh, I'm talking about sleep. Good have sleep in heavenly peace. You know what I'm talking about? Man, what? Hey, look, I was finna take out a loan because them kids eat me at the house and home. All three of them was here too this summer. And they begged me not to go to a camp. We gonna be good, blah, 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 blah. Lies, all lies. Every bit of it. And so what I'm gonna do is not fall for the okie doke next year. They are going to camp. Yes. Yeah, they going to camp next year. I'm talking about out of here. Get out of my face. Go away. The yelling at 3 o'clock in the morning, the loud banging noises, just random yelling at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I ain't gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it, and I don't have to. And so, yeah. Over here in this pot, you can see we have our drippings kind of cooking up, simmering up from the pot roast that we made. And so we're gonna strain that, get those beef pieces out. That's gonna be our little gravy. Yeah, we moving and grooving with this guy. With this, it's gonna be easy. No problems at all. Now, for the mac and cheese, I'm different. I told y'all, I do my mac and cheese a little different from everybody. And so far, ain't nobody complain, and everybody love it. So I mean, just get ready for what you may see here today. All right, let's get ready. So make sure you get in the bottom and corners of that pan, get that flavor off the bottom, right? Because you're gonna have a little bit of, see that brown in that pan. That's flavor. Don't let that get away from you. Don't let that get away at all. Now here at this point, if you have a little beef broth or something like that you want to put in there, you can just a little bit, but you don't have to. You really don't have to at all. I promise you, you don't. It'll be just fine. I like the way that look. That looks amazing. I would eat that by itself. Just thought I'd say that out loud. I would. I'd eat that by itself. No problems. Because I've had it before, cabbage and man, what you talking about? A good time. So while that's working, let me show you our beef. We took that beef and we put it in a food processor. All right, made that more workable. So now that's what it looks like in the pot. Look, kind of like a little beef dust, shredded beef, what I would call it. So we got that in there. Like I said, our stuff was already done, so we didn't have to worry about that. And now, finishing touch on this right here, because we done with this. We turn that off. we're gonna hit it with just a splash of water. When I say a splash, just a splash, just a kind of. That's it. That's it right there. And get all the rest of that flavor out that pot. Deglaze, basically what that's called, but we're not using no, demi glaze or anything like that. We're just gonna deglaze the pan, and that's done. That's it. We're gonna add that to our beef, and we're gonna let that sit. We're gonna let it cool down for just a tad. So we're not working with hot ingredients. Because who wants to do that? Who wants to do that? So we got our greens, our collard greens mixed in with our beef. Mix them up. Now remember, if you season it along the way, you got to remember where you season it, so that way you don't add too much. All right, kind of want to keep it. And there we go. That's our mix for our pot sticker mix. All right, here we go. Mac and cheeser. So of course you got to start with the boiling water. Don't forget what I always say: show your water some love. Put a little salt in there. That salt sticks around and seasons your mac and cheese noodles. So if you are the type of person that like salty mac and cheese, you put a lot. If you don't, then you just But because of the combination of things I'm using, we need just a little bit of salt. And so, we'll put that in there. That's all we need right there. That's all we need. That's all we need. Won't even need a lot. Don't need no lot. Because I don't want a lot. Just want to kind of show y'all my process, which is very familiar. When you see it, you'll be like, oh, okay, I got you. I see what you're doing there. When you see it, you're going to be like, oh, that's how they do it. That's how they do it. So, all right, we got our mac and cheese going. We'll wait when that water get done boiling. We're gonna be ready to go. Don't forget to stir it. Put the lid on it for right now. Bring that back up. We ready. That's ready right there. Ready, Freddy. So we're gonna drain this off. I'm draining the particles out of here. Drain it off. Add just a smidge of water to that, just because. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. Show y'all something. Okay, you remember that beef tallow that I was using last week? We're gonna use some more of that in here. Kind of rich it up. Rich up that flavor in there. Oh, I'm almost out. That's okay. I know where to get more. Steak and shake, baby. Then that beef tallow get in there. That's gonna be a good little gravy situation. I wish I had some mashed potatoes now, cause I can make that a rich, thick gravy. Ooh, what you talking about? All right, top back on that. We're gonna let that go a little bit more, a little smidge. We good. All right, guys. So we're gonna let our mac and cheese start cooking up. Boiling. We're gonna let our noodles get done, and in this same pot we're gonna make our mac and cheese. So this is gonna be a stovetop mac and cheese, right? Chef and yeah, it's gonna be stovetop mac and cheese, and it's gonna be good. I promise you, it is, because I know it. I know it is, and I've done it like 1,000 times. So when these noodles get done, we're gonna come back and we're gonna work that out. All right. This is our gravy situation, right? And so what you saw in the pot was the oil that came from that, and then you saw those pieces of meat like the drippings. So I took all of that and mixed it all together with a burr mixer, which is that, and this is what we got. So we are going to roll this because I saw it on the plate, right? We're gonna smear this on a plate, put the pot stickers on top. Boom. Okay, mac and cheese time. You see, we got it boiling. It's done, right? Make sure you taste your noodles. Make sure they al dente. Make sure you get everything in there. Make sure you try them before you pull them out that water. Because if they too done, ain't nothing you can do about it. I mean, if they not done enough, ain't nothing you can really do about it. Put them back on. Start over. All right. Stovetop mac and cheese. Welcome to this tutorial. Butter. All right. Yeah. We got some butter going in that thing. We got heavy creamery going in. So what I'm gonna do is showing y'all my secrets. So we're gonna reduce your heat, right? Let that butter melt down in there, right? Ooh, that way. Let your butter get down, mixed down in there. Now, at this point, you can season this mac and cheese if you want to, right? It's up to you. I say wait because the cheese that you use could be salty. The butter, if you don't use unsalted butter, could be salty. So I put about a half a stick of butter. I got real big pieces of butter. But anyway, boom, right? The heavy cream in there. And some shredded cheese. And they say, Chef Jeff, you cheating. Yep, a little bit. I am, but that's cool. That's kind of the way I like to do it. So what we do here is just kind of let it melt. Melt that cheese down with the butter and the heavy cream. It's going to make a sauce, right? But this is just where you just kind of take time. And this would be where I make a 3 or 4 cheese mac and cheese, right? So I think today we're going to make a 3. So we already got cheddar. Let's add some white cheddar. Now see how creamy that's looking already? Make sure you check your heat. Turn your heat down. You don't want the scorch. You don't want the burn. Make sure and then you can always add more cream or milk, whichever one you use. I like the heavy cream because the heavy cream. Shut up, refrigerator. I like the heavy cream. The heavy cream does me right. And I really don't go wrong with heavy cream. I'm gonna get some more cheese in there. Some more cheese. Ooh-wee. Cheese everywhere. So boom. Gonna fold this in, and then that's gonna be pretty much it. We're just gonna make sure that it's creamy enough. Make sure it's loose enough. This is how I do my mac and cheese. And it never fails. It gets gone every single time. Every single time. So I know this work. It may not be grandma now, but I know this work. I know people love this because every time I make it at work, wherever, it gets gone. Let me packing it up, taking it with them. And then don't let me bring it home. For Zeke is gonna murder it. Gonna get down. Get down. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna let this. You turn the heat off. Turn my heat off. And so we're gonna let this all melt and come together. Then we're gonna come back and see if we need to loosen it. Right? Because we got enough cheese in there. I promise you it's enough cheese. And we're gonna see if we need to loosen it or what. You see, we still got our little gravy situation working back there. Check on everything. Don't just let stuff go. Check on everything. Make sure it's all where you want it to be, how it's coming along, how you want it to be. Right? I pivoted. I was gonna make a gravy, but once I started to use this immersion, it's called an immersion blender. Once I used that and started to see how it was pasting up, I was cool with that. So I was like, yeah, we're gonna stick with that. So that's what we did. So that's why it looks like this. And when you see it on the plate, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, I see what he did there. Yeah. Mac and cheese on the stove top, butter, heavy cream, milk if you want to. Heavy cream gonna give you thick, right? Heavy cream gonna give you thick. The milk will thin this all out. So if this gets too thick while it's sitting, I'll add some milk to it and we're gonna be golden. Now, like I told you, it's up to you. Taste everything, of course. You got to. So let's give it a taste, see what we need to add to it. All right. Like I said, this is where you will season it. If you use salted butter, unsalted butter, take all that in consideration. If your cheese is salty, take that in consideration. This one needs some seasoning. So we're gonna add some seasoning to that. Boom. And I know that is it. That's all we need. You want to make sure you get around the bottom of your pot so that way there's nothing sticking. You don't have to do too much at one time. As you can see, we did a little under a half a bag, and this is what we got. So there's gonna be plenty for us and plenty for Zeke when he get home from school, because he is out of here. All right, we got that. So now let's work on these green beans. Let's work on the green beans. Like I told y'all. Now I got this part of this recipe from somebody that is like they request his green beans. You know what I'm saying? They request them. Everybody requests them joints, and I'm like, well, what are you doing that's so spectacular to these green beans? It took years to get that recipe. Once I finally got it, I was like, oh, I've been doing it this way this whole time. Okay, cool. So those of you that may be thinking, oh, is that mac and cheese gritty? It's not, because the heat that was circulating through that pot, through the noodles as we were putting it in there, butter melted, cheese melted, it's all good. It's everything's in there. It's all working together. So no, it's not gritty. The cheese is fully melted. There is no remnants of none of that going on. So yeah. So anyway, yes, these green beans. I was like, what? What? Okay. So I'm gonna tell you how I start mine. Butter, onions, but this is mine. This ain't the person's recipe that gave it to me. I can't never tell you that because he'll never tell me nothing else. I'll tell you, show you mine, how I do mine. So a little bit of garlic. This the garlic I be using. I told y'all before. Oh, my bad. Y'all can't see. Hold on. Okay, now y'all can see off in that thing. Good. Okay, here we go. All right, now I'm gonna show y'all a little something. This is a secret. Don't tell nobody, okay? This is my secret to my stuff. Green beans. All right. Onions, garlic, butter. A few bell peppers got in there, but it's fine. We didn't discriminate. It's all going the same place anyway. Where is my can opener? Oh, let me tell y'all something, child. When they be doing dishes here, it's a scavenger hunt to find stuff. It's never in the same place, and you always gotta find it. I don't know what they be thinking either. Like, why would you put it over here? It doesn't go. But I mean, for a person that cooks every day, you know what you're looking for. You know what you need your stuff to be. Where you need your stuff to be. Some people they don't cook every day, so then they just be like, all right, it's out the way. You know what I mean? Crazy. I know. Crazy. So I kept it. So we gonna keep it simple on the mac and cheese. We're gonna keep it simple on the green beans too. We're just gonna do a little bit. And yes, I'm using some canned green beans. Just why not? Started to get some frozen ones, but I ain't want to do all that. And can't really go wrong with these, so it's cool. All right, so we got our stuff mixing up, right? We got them mixing up. All right. A little more rest of this because we ain't gonna need it later. Boom. Now, if you are a person that puts meat in your green beans, this is where you would add that. This is where you would go ahead and put that in there. I'm not really I kind of do, but kind of don't. So I got a little bit of this beef left over. We're going to throw that in there for just a smidge of flavor. We'll move that around and have some meat in there. I normally use nothing. I don't use anything. Because I got off the bacon, right? I kind of been away from bacon for a while now, and it just don't come readily to mind. And then of course, I told y'all last week that what bacon is on the same list as cancer, as cigarettes. So you don't need to use none of that. All right, so boom, going in with our green beans. We ain't shame. And after that, we're gonna use a little light brown sugar. Yeah, light brown sugar, a little red pepper flake, and to give it a little bit of the kind of what we're going for with this meal. I still on red pepper flake because I don't want it to be hot. We're gonna hit them with some soy sauce. Soy sauce is good. You love tiny soy sauce. Soy sauce. Boom. That's it, guys. That's it on the green beans. We stir them babies up. Let them come to a little, they already simmering, so we're gonna stir them up and let them do what they do. Now you could add whatever it is you want to add to them, but this is it for me. That's it. Add a little water, just kind of cover them. You don't need much, just a little bit. You don't want to dilute what you put in there, right? A little water to cover. Turn them down low, let them simmer. You're done. So our sides to our Oriental Chinese inspired soul food meal is done, right? So we got all that done. We got our green beans done, them working. Our mac and cheese is done. So now we're going to work on our pot stickers, guys. I'm excited about this part because pot stickers. Who doesn't like a good pot sticker? So here we go. Welcome back to this dope cooking show. We are doing a beef pot roast pot sticker kind of soul food-ish meal, right? So what we got is some macaroni and cheese. We got some green beans. And, now we're at the start of the show, which is what we came here for, is these pot stickers. Now, I'm using wonton wrappers. So there's several different ways you can do these with the wonton wrappers, but I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to do it like I do my crab rangoons. So, another thing. Apparently, I watched a video. There are like 25 different ways that you can do pot stickers from like mild to wild, right? And that is the worst thing to do before trying to reproduce what you see. It's because now your brain is all over the place. We're trying to figure out how you're going to do these, right? And, we're just going to do what we do, stick to what we normally do. Now, the cooking method for this is we're going to put these in a skillet with a little oil, right? Let the bottom caramelize or one side crisp up or whatever. And then we're going to hit it with some water, throw a top on them and let them steam. That's what they do. And that's what we're going to do. It just depends on how we decide to make these work for us. All right. So we got some water here, pastry brush. We got our mix, our filling. And we finna get to it. So let's do it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. So we can put a little, just want to keep it kind of small amount on there because we don't want to put too much in there, all right? So let me tell y'all, story time, boom. Let me tell y'all. So this weekend, Zeke, they are doing scrimmages, okay? So those of you that are waiting on Zeke's football schedule, they have not started. Right now, they are doing scrimmages, right? Scrimmaging other teams, things like that. Cool. Get them ready for the season. So come to find out, Zeke is one of the older kids on the team. I have this thing about because I'm a larger framed person that I'm assumed that I want to do larger frame person stuff, right? I'm bigger. I mean, I ate a lot when I was a kid. I don't have no shame in that. So what? But I don't want to. I don't want to be put in the big kid category. Does that make sense? And that was one thing that I saw with Zeke. I'm like, man, they didn't put. So they put Zeke on offensive line. He's an offensive tackle, following after his daddy footsteps. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Hazelwood East. You know what I'm saying? You know, shout out to them, Sheldon, all them boys, Reggie, Tony West, all them guys. Listen, I played football. I played with some hitters. Tony West, Antoine Owens. Who I'm calling their name, their whole government. Can't do that. Tony, Antoine, Reggie, Sheldon. Who else? Oh man, we had a squad, right? Tony and Reggie was back there, that middle linebacker position, getting it in. You hear me? Tony was hunting every time. But anyway, yeah, I digress. You just had to be there as part of a time that if you weren't alive, you missed it. So anyway, they put Zeke on offensive tackle. Cool. He's doing what an offensive tackle was supposed to do. But this particular weekend, this last weekend, we had a scrimmage. We had a scrimmage against some hoodlums. Oh, I got to call Randy too. Randy Caldwell. Randy Caldwell and my folks go way back, and we didn't figure that out until we were in high school. But shout out to Randy, that's my guy. Call him Black. Anyway, so they put him on offensive tackle, and he's doing. Like I said, he's doing his job. He's doing what he's told to do. Well, this particular weekend, they played some hoodlums. When I say some hoodlums, these kids come straight out of Oak Cliff Gators, Oak Cliff something. My son plays flag football. Let me reiterate that again. Flag. My son plays flag football, not tackle, not touch, flag. And, you're not supposed to be tackling the offensive line anyway. But I'm just, okay, but I digress, okay? I'm going to keep. These kids came out the whole tackling these babies. Now, I just found out, like I told you, Zeke is one of the older kids on the team. We thought this was a 6U football team. Well, it is 6U, but most of the kids like 4, 5, 6. Zeke a whole 7. But it's the way the birthdays fall, right? So then we like, well, hey, these kids out here look like they 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Some of them look 15. One of the kids had a shag. I know his daddy a thug. But anyway, so we out here and they tackling. And I mean like head hunting, trying to kill the little baby quarterback. And so every parent on the sideline was up. You hear me? Up. I'm talking about. It was so hot. The first game was on Saturday. It was so hot. I went and bought a tent right after the game because I was like, I can't keep doing this sitting out here in the sun like this. I got a tan and everything. So we out here in this heat, and these babies is tackling my kid. I am upset. Well, I didn't come up out the anyway. It's not even a tent. It's a what do they call that? I don't know. And it's got 6 sides. It's not a tent. It's a gazebo. That's what I bought. I went on Marketplace to find a gazebo because we out here. You know what I mean? And we got to be out here because Zeke is out here, and this is what he wants to do, and he's having fun doing it. So, but Daddy got to be comfortable because this is ridiculous. So anyway, I bought a gazebo, right? So I just set it up. We in there chilling with another group of people we invited to come in there and sit with us or whatnot. They get to tackling the kids, and other mamas start hollering and was like, "I'll knock all this over." Hold up, wait a minute, let me see what's going on. So I go see. They are slinging these kids left and right. I'm talking about slinging them. So we like, well, Ref, what you gonna do about it? Ref ain't saying nothing. He's standing like we're not even talking to him. Oh, okay. So now so these mamas that these babies have played before are not here for the foolishness. They're not here to play with us at all. They like, this ain't right. They supposed to be a yard off the ball. I mean, like, they got it. You know what I'm saying? They knowledgeable. They on top of it. Baby, every parent from every age group that was affiliated with our association was on the sideline barking, yelling, blah, blah, blah. So then the ref turned around and say, y'all need to stay behind the 20-yard line. One of the mamas said, that's fine. I'm finna holler from the 30. Oh my God, it got intense, and so I'm mad at y'all because y'all didn't tell me it was gonna be like this. Ain't nobody tell me it's gonna be a little tough out there for my baby. And he did good. It was hot, y'all. It was hot. Texas heat ain't like the heat you see. If you from somewhere else other than Texas, your heat ain't like my heat. It just ain't. And I'm not trying to downgrade your struggle. Your heat just not like my heat, baby. I'm talking about we in that thing hurting. Uh, so then the ref say, y'all need to stay behind this line. The lady said, I'm gonna stay over here and I'm gonna still yell from over here. He was like, that's fine, that's fine. Next thing you know, one of the uh he's not the head of the program, but he's kind of like the head guy or one of the head guys. He shows up and I was like, hey, he's like, what's going on? I said, they tackling my kid. And it didn't dawn on me who I was talking to until I seen him walk away and I was like, oh snap. You know how you say something, you be like, oops. So he's like, I'm gonna handle it. And he walked away. And so they had a meeting at halftime and all that tackling stopped. Now, this one kid showed up late. He showed up late, and I don't know if they told him not to tackle, but he on our team. And the dude when he get to the pads, he gonna be something to mess with. This guy. He tackled one of the little boys on the other team. They're like, oh no. So then they called the flag. So then one of the mamas on our side was like, oh, so now you want to call the flag. So the dude's like, well, I've been calling the flags this whole time. Y'all were too busy. Man, look, the going back and forth was something serious. You hear me? I said, oh, well, okay. This is what we in for. I can't wait to get back to my people. This dope cooking show, because ain't none of y'all told me it was going to be intense like this. Everybody's like, it's good. It's going to be cool. It's going to be good for him, blah, blah, blah. It's good for him because Zeke is having a good time. Now, when Zeke get tired. He don't want to play no more. And rightfully so, because by the time he get tired, I'm hot and I'm ready to go. But that ain't how it work. You can't do that. Okay. Sorry. Okay, I'm new here. Anyway, man, they lost because they played some ruffians. They did a hell of a job playing against some kids that were older than them, bigger than them, and way more aggressive. One of the coaches taking a liking to Zeke and is talking about how much he's improved and things like that. And he walked up to me on the sideline. He was like, just trust me. Just trust me. And I said, oh, I trust you. I said, that's the reason why them police officers still sit in their cars. I trust y'all. I ain't finna be that kind of parent. And they gave us kind of a little talk before, we really got involved. They gave all the parents a talk before we all got involved about, how they were going to do things this year and what they wanted to see from the parents and blah, blah, blah. Just trust them, blah, blah, blah. Cool. I don't know y'all. So whatever. My kid get tackled now. I got to go check my account, see if I got bail money. Because apparently at this particular field we was at, it goes down. Like, it's like, oh yeah, this is where we at. Like this they'd be online betting on the games. Now this little league football. Now we walked into a whole new world because Saturday we were standing there waiting on the lady start taking the money, and a team walked up. They was all, they had all their gear on. They had a loudspeaker playing some rap song, and all the kids was stupid hype. I'm talking about growling and barking and carrying on. I'm like, well, wait a minute. This little league football. Apparently, we are not in Kansas anymore, Toto. And baby, it's live. All the way live. And so one of the parents, the quarterback, dad came over and was like, yeah, welcome to football season. It's crazy. And I'm like, this how it always is? And he was like, it's worse. He was like, you ain't seen nothing yet. He said, just keep on, stick around. He's like, and everybody's noticing that my kid is doing better, like, which is good for me because I was nervous at first, right? I played ball. I was good. I just, I broke my ankle. And after that, I was like, yeah, I'm good. I broke my ankle in a car accident. But by the time I got back healthy again, it was time to start the season. I wasn't even close to being ready to go at all, so that's my story. But we ain't here for me. We hear about Zeke. And so, yeah, my man's doing good. He was tired. He was sluggish. So I walked up to the coach and whispered in his ear. I was like, hey, pull Zeke. He's tired. And my kids don't take well, especially Zeke. He don't like you hollering at him. He don't like him yelling. So if anybody tell you I'm at the house yelling at my kids, they lying because my kids don't like that. So if he feel like, okay, I pushed the dude, well, now why you still yelling at me? But he don't get it, right? So I told the coach, I say, pull him, give him a break. So when he pulled him, pulled him over to him, I said, hey, you're doing a great job. These kids are aggressive, they big, and they're not gonna give you nothing. I said, you got to take everything you need from them. And I said, get you some water. I said, you got to go back out there because they want you out there. My dude got him some water and went back to it. I said, that's my boy. That's my boy. That's my boy. That type of stuff I didn't have growing up, right? Because my dad's a pastor and we wasn't finna miss no church for no football game. So, yeah, kind of my little league opportunities were dashed because my dad was too busy preaching and being a pastor. So, yeah, I couldn't play until I got to high school. And by the time we got to high school, shoot, everybody that was playing on my team had been playing since they was 3. So I'm the noob out there. So I know what it feels like to be the newbie and everybody yelling at you to do the right thing. I had to shout out Reggie, Tony, Black, Antoine, all those different guys that were around me at the time. Sheldon, Pastor Sheldon now. Sheldon knew I didn't know to play. He just tell me every time, you go this way, JJ. All right, appreciate you, brother. I had to shout out those guys that were like on the field with me. You know what I mean? It's different in the locker room. It's different, walking down the street talking about it. But when they on the field and they know you don't know what the hell you're doing and you look like a deer in headlights, it's like, yeah, come on, just hit somebody. All right, got it. Check. And I was never the caliber that they were. Those dudes were cold. Like it wouldn't have been nothing to see some of my friends in the NFL. Matter of fact, there was one that went. Brian, he was a Cowboy for a minute. Can't remember his name. But anyway, he went to Hazelwood East with us. But anyway, as you can see, we've done story time and we have made a few of these. Move my water out the way. We made a few of these. And so what we're going to do now is get our skillet good and hot. We're going to put some oil in the bottom of our skillet. We're going to lay these in the skillet. We're going to get them brown on both sides just because that's what I don't want one side brown, one side not. So we're going to get our skillet good and hot. We're going to get some oil in that thing. And once we do that, we're going to come back. We're going to go back over here to the stove. Let y'all see how this comes out. Okay? Ain't no need to worry. I got you. This Dope Cooker Show. We are doing it. All right, we over here at the stove again. Yeah. We're going to put some of these now. Remind you guys, these are wonton wrappers. So remember, they might puff up on one side, right? But remember we said we was going to do both sides. We're going to do both sides of them. We're going to let them get good and brown on one side. And boom. Now, it's up to you. You can try to get as many of them in the pan as you want. I'm gonna try to get as many of them in there as I possibly can, just because when we throw that water in there and put the steam on them, I don't want to have to cook no more, actually. So that's what we're doing right now. We're gonna let them get good and brown on one side, then we're gonna flop them. We're gonna flop them. And when we flop them, we're gonna flip them. Flop. That's a term in my house around here. Flop, flip, whatever. So boom, we got them. Got some good brown on there. They don't have to get real brown. It's up to you. I kind of want mine to be brown like that. Like I said, we're using wonton wrappers, so they're going to cook a little differently than the doughy ones, right? And then Got them cooking on that side. And like they said, you don't need but like a drop of water. We already had a little water ready to go. That's it. Pot sticking, baby. Pot sticking in that thing. Yeah. Simple process, pretty quick, pretty fast. So didn't take too long for us to knock that out. Didn't take too long for us to knock that out at all. I think it's time to get us a plate and have us something to eat because we are done, I think. So yeah, let's get a good old plate up going. We'll be right back. All right, good people. You ready? Because I am. We did our thing, right? Beef pot roast, pot stickers, green beans, mac and cheese. And, I went a little crazy with the little red pepper. But I know Doc going to eat it when she come in. Cool. So I made it kind of for her. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I already knew the size was gonna be good, right? Because we've made them before. You've done them before. Whatever. But these pot stickers though, let's see what we working with. I think. Let's see. So you gotta make sure you get some of this here. Because this right here, a little gravy, a little meat situation. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Mm. I may not get none either. All right. I can keep eating because they're so good. But so we got all the flavors of soul food put together in one plate with a Asian fusion idea-ish. The beef with the greens and the Brussels sprouts, amazing, right? I was kind of concerned if it was gonna be bitter or not, but it's not. It's actually really good. And then with that, the drippings that we made when we use the immersion blender, we put that on top, on the bottom. So when you cut into it and you scoop it up out the plate, you get a nice blast of beef and richness to it. Stovetop macaroni, I gave y'all my secret. So, of course, it's good. I mean, you can't go wrong. 3 cheeses was what we use: Kobe, cheddar, American. It's fire, and it's still creamy too. So, can't go wrong there. Green beans. I mean, you can't ever. I don't know if you can mess with green beans. When we use some of the beef we didn't use, onions, garlic, brown sugar, soy sauce, kind of keep all them Asian flavors together. It's an awesome meal right here. So I was wondering how it was gonna come out. It came out really good, and depending on how people respond to this could probably go in the rotation here in my house. I don't know about your house, but here in my house, they can probably get down with this. So, it was me. I was with you. I'm about to eat. I'm gonna catch y'all next week. Thank y'all to everybody that contributed on the post. If I had to call a winner, it would probably be, her name is Tiara. Tiara gave me a list of stuff. I mean, she named out the whole meal and was like, you could add some cornbread too. I thought about it, but I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be too much right here. And adding the cornbread to me was just gonna be an extra level of fat because that was gonna be honey butter cornbread, tasting like cake, all that. So yes, so we just stuck with a couple of the ingredients that you guys gave me. The most common one was mac and cheese. The runner-up was green beans and greens. So I used all of those. Thank you to everybody that contributed, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere that you saw the post. Thank you for your feedback. This Dope Cooking Show, Executive Chef Jeff, Instagram. This Dope Cooking Show, Instagram, YouTube. I'm about to eat. I'll catch y'all next week. Peace.